All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the 79th episode of the Jab Podcast. My name is Combo Breaker 99,
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Boxing P.
and we're about to talk about a big fight, man. To open up the new year, January 19th is going down. Manny Pacquiao, he got his fight with Adrien Broner. This is part of his Al Heyman deal. So just like Manny always do, Manny go after the big fish. Manny ain't looking for no soft touch. He ain't the type to just sign on and say, "Oh, I want to get this guy, get fresh." He ready for the big dogs. So it's going down, Las Vegas at the MGM, man. But I'm excited for this fight, man. I don't really know why, but you was telling me that you are too, man. But why is that, man? It's like Manny's an older fighter. We know he's seen better days, but somebody like Adrien Broner, he's kind of been letting everybody down. But it's still like, why are we excited for this, man?
Yeah, man. It's for one thing, me personally, I don't feel like it's being forced on us. Saying it's a fight that Manny coming off the Matisse win, looking pretty good. Broner, at a crossroad in his career. Just stylistically, it just matches up good for me, Ant. You know what I mean? We never seen these two guys in the ring, so for me, I think just stylistically, they match up really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too, man. I think both of these guys have a style that's going to complement each other. And this is kind of where you can draw that line, like where you could definitely say AB, he's not like Floyd, because to me, I think this is gonna bring a different type of fight than the Floyd Pacquiao fight. What do you think?
You mean like as far as being more trouble for Broner?
For both of them?
For who, bro? Oh, you think? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily mean like in a way like Floyd was bringing the trouble. Like Floyd never really brought that power threat to me in that fight, but I kind of feel like AB might bring some of that threat there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I totally agree. And to be honest, yeah. Um, this is a different fight. Floyd was a more intellectual fight. This is going to be Manny's coming to make a statement. Adrien Broner, he said this is his dream fight. He said this is his dream fight. So you've made it to, becoming a world champion, getting some of your dream fights. So I'm just wondering how is that going to translate into the ring. But I feel like we will see something totally different than we saw with the Floyd Mayweather thing. Like I said, the Floyd Mayweather fight was cerebral, and it wasn't for the action boxing fan. That was a chess match, But it played out how I thought it would, how Floyd said it would, from day one. Easy work.
Yeah, because in this one, when I look at it, I think on both guys' ends, they kind of know that everything is on the line at this point. Somebody like AB who's had many chances, and then somebody like Manny who just signed a deal with Al Heyman. They both are trying to make that statement. So I think that they might kind of, leave the science out the door a few times, and try to go at it,
Yeah, passion to the win. And then for Broner, this will really kind of put him back in the mix, to put a guy like Pacquiao on his resume. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be, a real good look for him. Manny beating Broner, that's just another win for him, to be honest. It's two different types of wins, to be honest. You know what I mean? Between those two, the win for Broner is going to mean a lot of different things than a win for Manny would be, definitely like resume wise.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because this is like, Manny's, AB is nothing like some of the threats he's faced, even in his prime. I know what you mean, yeah. But do you think like all that aside, like I guess one of the main questions is, why do you I guess I can ask this about myself too, but why do we feel like this fight holds so much weight even today, man? Like, why is it, as soon as it was announced, people are really starting to look at it and really break it down. Like, there's so many other welterweight fights that can be made, but why is this one kind of still holding a lot of weight?
That's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't have anticipated people being, excited about this fight as they are. But Manny definitely has a solid fan base. He's got a whole country on top of his American fan base. And then, Adrien Broner has a fan base. I mean, regardless how you may feel about him, he does have a fan base. So, it definitely helps when both guys have a name. And both of these guys got a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You think, yeah, I guess because for me, it's like, I don't even care if this leads up to a rematch with Floyd. Like, this fight alone was just like enough to make me say, I want to see this. But personally, like, even if he was to blow through I won't really care about that rematch, you know?
Absolutely. That's the same way I feel. I'm not even looking forward to like, the winner gets Floyd. I mean, I'm more interested in seeing this fight right here, and then stuff like, Adrien Broner in there with a guy that's fast too, fast hands. This should just be interesting, like action fight too. You know what I mean? They both got that. Manny ain't as fast as he used to be, but he's still fast and a lot wiser in the ring now. I just, like I say, stylistically, they just match up well. But I'm definitely not looking at it like, and the winner gets the grand prize, because we already seen one show. Floyd and the AB will be interesting at, but it's still like you fighting a 42-year-old Floyd Mayweather. It's just not, really the same to me.
Yeah, there's really no gain off of that. It's still not like when you hear Manny's going in for a fight, because past few years Manny's been staying fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he was actually fighting contenders and not going after the MMA guys or
Right.
these kickboxers. He's actually fighting ranked guys. That's why we're always looking at him like, what's his next move? And when he makes it, we get more excited,
And think about that too, and how interesting that is. I mean, Manny, being from Asian descent, I mean, you could almost visualize him throwing the kick, doing some other stuff, but you never really hear him mention that. He's like strictly, on this boxing path.
Yeah, there could have been many a times I felt like in his career where he could have, tried like Muay Thai or something like that. But, he's been strictly boxing the whole road, man.
Yeah, the whole road. I'm thinking about, can you imagine him kicking somebody with them damn calves and kick somebody's
But
head?
choking him out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that as opposed to, some of the guys that we have seen crossover or talk about crossing over. Manny is a guy who we might have believed could have done something like that. You know what I mean? He never mentioned it though.
Yeah, like unfortunately we never did, because I felt like him and the other fighter, I can't remember right now, but I feel like Manny would have been like a good candidate, at the time, like to represent boxing in like another combat sport. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how could you dispute that? He had the speed, the power, the athleticism. That would have been very interesting.
Yeah, man. But another thing I wanted to kind of ask you about the this fight here, man. Like, do you think AB is really looking for a chance to make a statement and come back, or do you think he's just in it for the money? Like, see, the thing is, like, we know, man, he's fighting for money. That's why he's still fighting. But when he fights, he comes to earn it. You know what I mean? He's still coming to earn it.
It's different. It's different. It's different.
That's why I say, like, do you think he is in it for the just to come in and try to just get another check?
To be honest, it's so hard to say with a guy like him.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I'm holding him to is, him saying out his own mouth that this was his dream fight. So let me see what you would do in your dream fight. Let me see what Adrien Broner would do in his dream fight. that's the only thing I can hold him to. You know what I mean? But who knows what Adrien Broner, we're gonna see, that night. Do he got the tools to beat a Manny? Of course. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, because he had the tools to beat a lot of guys, but physically and as far as like his skill, but like his heart and his mind trying to work hand in hand. Because when he gets in the ring, it's like all of that kind of detaches from each other. It's like he's thinking one thing and he's doing another thing, and he's more worried about the show than actually trying to build a legacy. You know what I mean?
We all know boxing is a very tough sport. It's 90% mental, and it's just obvious if you're not a strong-minded person, you're not gonna make it in this sport, whether it be inside or outside the ring. A lot of the guys who probably weren't that strong are the guys that fell victim to drugs and a lot of other things that caused their lives or careers to go down. So it's just one of them sports, and we seen other guys that had gifts, but they it's the mental part. You can't stay focused and stick to a game plan or whatever the case may be. But that's definitely like not a good thing for a fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing for a fighter,
especially for somebody like Broner. I mean, I think we had talked about this earlier. Just the fact that he gets so many chances every time. I mean, he continues to do the other things outside of the ring that kind of, put a bad image on his name, but he's never really getting humbled. Do you know what I mean? He's never really put in a situation where he has to be humiliated or humbled, because every time he comes up short, he comes right back in another.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too. Me and Jamar, shout out to Jamar at the job, Jamar Harris. We was talking about that today too, like how this dude, he seems so hard to be humbled. And I'm thinking that me and Jamal was talking about how he got like one of the worst post-fight visuals probably, in the last 10, 15 years of boxing after the Maidana fight. All you gotta do is look at that when he's walked out and they holding him, and just everything about it, that right there, dude. We thought that was just slice of humble pie, but nah, he acting like that ain't happened. But nah, we ain't forget about that, dude. That's infamous right there. He had to look. You know what I'm saying?
It made the best meme out of that. At the bottom where they got the one where he's like, he say he's being held and he's like, look like he crying, and they said like, where Floyd at?
Exactly, dude. I mean, that picture right there is like, it's just crazy. He getting walked out like a baby. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't do nothing to him. You'll brush that off and kept going, which is a good thing. But at the end of the day, you gotta win some damn fights, man. All that talking, the slick, and that's irrelevant if you're not winning fights.
Yeah, because that's what I kind of ask myself, is like, how good of a thing is that, where you can just, is it really in you to ignore that? Or are you really taking it to heart? Because sometimes it's like he is, because you come to the ring in the Maidana fight showing out, but then when you lost, you couldn't even do the post interview because you had to bounce up out of there. So he did kind of take it to heart. That's how I kind of see it.
Oh, there's no way in the world he didn't take it to heart. And like, but of course, to the world, he got to act like it bounced off of him. But, I see the way, they crack on each other. I know how dudes get down when they cracking jokes and shit like that. And people bring that topic up. So I'm sure it's a sensitive topic because, you're a fighter. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. Is one thing. Oh, you was in the street and just, a regular dude and got beat up. That's different. No, you're a fighter. You got walked out of there. So I'm just saying, I'm sure behind closed doors that it's still stinging. It's sting. I'm sure it do.
It's like to us, the equivalence of like you falling and busting your ass in front of a whole crowd of people, you know. But you got humiliated in front of the biggest crowd in the world. But I can kind of see where I could say I give him respect that he's able to come back every time, man. You know, he's able to come back every time.
That's another a form of mental toughness that he does have, to be able to set that stuff aside and come back just as enthusiastic the next time. You know what I mean? Like he won the last fight. It's crazy. You know what that is? But that's why I say that's part of his appeal and what makes him kind of polarizing to people, because it's just like you just want to watch it, eh? You know, for whatever reason, you like him, you don't like him. He winning, he losing. He just makes you want to see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? But at some point in time, I would feel like a fighter will want to know within their self where they stand at, and you know, and you know what I mean, kind of.
I know, I know what you mean, yeah, because it's like I want to know where he stands at just as much as he probably does. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like you kind of fought your way to this level where you're constantly being put in there with elite guys, whether we talking about, you know, Mikey Garcia or fighting a Jesse Vargas. Now you fighting a Pacquiao, but it's still kind of like questionable where you are. You know what I mean? It's kind of questionable because you got titles in multiple divisions, but since you stepped at 147, it's kind of been like a big question mark over where you stand.
Right.
I wonder, that's another part of the question, is like, I wonder if he is there to find out what he stands for, or is it just money, you know?
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's hard to say, because I mean, if you really, we just said that he got the skills to beat guys, but it don't seem like he's like dedicating himself, you know, doing the homework, the groundwork to make these things happen. But I mean, who can make him do that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so at this point, if you know you're not training, then you just kind of doing it for a payday, eh? You know, because you heard him say, oh, I wasn't in shape for that fight, or I did. Okay, well, are you really trying to work on your legacy? That's what I'm saying, eh? You know, we never heard Floyd say that. You know, why ain't it? You know, you hear him play around with different stuff, but you know he trained for every fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of person he is, type of fighter he is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. Even like to this day, you know, even if he was to come back and fight, we would know that Broner's training is not even like a third of what Floyd does. You know, like everything he does, like still couldn't amount to what a 40-some-year-old Floyd would do.
The way Floyd perceives training is totally different from those guys. You know, he don't look at it as work. It's just, I guess it's just something that got to be done. You know what I mean? I like a lot of these guys probably got to get worked up or get motivated. Floyd is just like, I mean, he's been doing it so long, it just seemed like that's how he can just, in the middle of the night, hit the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of like a part of him. You know what I mean? Like people say that, you know, raising a kid is work, but it's just something you have to do once it's a part of you, you know?
Right.
To me, it's just built in. Like, hey, that's something you got to get up when the baby's crying. You got to get up and do it. You know, don't think of it as you clocking in and out. It's just something you have to do. And if you don't do it, you know, everything could crumble. And Floyd, he kind of sees it that way, where it's like, I have to keep doing this or everything will crumble. This ain't a job, you know, it's me.
Exactly.
Where AB, it's like, even looking at him now, people who are already kind of making comments, they like, oh, look at the stomach on him. You know, they saying, you know, he throwing fast hands, but it's like, are you gonna be able to make weight? Speaking of that, is this a welterweight fight or is this a catch weight, man?
I was under the assumption that it was a welterweight, but I'm not sure though, Ant. I'm not sure.
Me either, damn.
I'm not sure.
But because the way he's
but no, it's a belt on the line, so it gotta be welter, right? They got some belt. Manny was
Manny's belt, so I guess he's gonna try to make the weight there, man. So okay, so I guess it is. And, I thought they were going to try to do something like 149.5 or something, if he can't make it.
We'll see, though, Ant. You never know. But the thing is, like you say, man, you talking about a young man getting out of shape like that. And, you know what I mean? A young man who's a fighter, letting himself get to those type of things. All right, this one thing, I ain't work out a weekend, but, they should be going long stretches. That's what they do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it shows you, like, the mindset of some of these young guys to let themselves go like that while they not fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because let's be honest, like, if you saw him and Floyd together, y'all would think they would be the same age, and some people might think that he's a little bit older than Floyd,
Yeah, absolutely.
But looking at Manny, for him, the win might not be as big, but I guess the reward is going to be bigger for him in the future. Why do you think he can continue? Why do you think he still continues to perform the way he does, even though we just feel like, hey, it might be for financial?
It's financial, but Manny is like a fighter at heart, like a warrior. Like I say, Manny is somebody that 400 years ago would have been a warrior in his culture somewhere. You know what I mean? He's just
right.
That type of person where he's got that dog in him, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you got to kill a dog to stop him from fighting. And the only time we ever seen Manny stop fighting is when he got killed for a minute. You know what I'm saying? For a minute.
Right.
And I think that's the difference between certain guys. Like we talk about, some guys hate fighting. They just do it because it makes money. Manny likes it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no doubt about it. Not saying he likes hurting people, but he likes fighting.
He's definitely like grown a fix for it, because at this time in his career, he could kind of pick and choose and say, let's get this guy, like Amir Khan and Kell Brook are kind of doing. But he continues to put himself in that realm with the Sharks and still try to compete at that, because it's like from where he's from, like we saying, like he might be doing it for financial reasons, but he still wants to earn it because that's the person he is. And like from what he came from, I can tell you those streets is rough. So where he came from, it's like built in him the same way it was as Floyd. Like, I have to do it this way or it'll crumble. But it can kind of be dangerous too, man. It can kind of be dangerous at this point in his career, as like you said, he is a warrior, but as long as they doing what they love and they taking it to the grave, man, I can't really question it.
I can't either. And I mean, because to be honest, if you think about it, we never really seen Manny get beat up. Seen him get knocked out a couple times early in his career, then Marquez as of late. But, Floyd Mayweather beat him, but he didn't beat him up. The reason he may have got KO'd with Marquez goes back to what we were talking about earlier, being comfortable. I've been in here 36 rounds, 48 rounds with this guy. I'm comfortable. I'm doing things that I wouldn't normally do. So, that led to an error. But I don't see that. I'm just saying all that to say that we haven't really seen Manny beat up. So, Manny, it's not like people trying to say he washed up. He's not the same fighter. He's fighting smarter now. But Manny, he's been in a lot of wars, but we never seen him beat up, man.
No, we haven't.
We ain't never seen Manny get beat up, and I don't see, breaking it down like that. I really don't see that happening in January when those two meet up. You know what I mean? Manny fought a lot of guys with power, a lot of guys who could knock out. There's one guy who knocked him out, a guy who was very comfortable with him in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other than that, nobody could do it. We haven't really seen the guy wobbled, dropped a few times, but nothing major.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like people always try to remember that fight. Like, oh, you remember what Marquez did, but I always tell them, look, it's been 6 years ago, and he hasn't looked like he's been on that foot since. And every fight he's came back and he made adjustments to his style because he has gotten older, but he's never been like the type that became punchy and just comes in there and takes a beating every fight. You never see him shelled up, taking a beating, getting on his back since that fight. You know, it is another Pacquiao, but that's what you got to do as you get older. You know, you have to reinvent yourself. You ain't gonna be the same fighter. You know, Muhammad Ali, he did it, and I mean, there's many other fighters that have done it. And with Pacquiao, I feel like when people just look at him as this potential knockout victim, they really don't know his career. You know, you got to go back and look before he fought the Moraleses and the Barreras, and when he was fighting near like 105. You know, you got to look at that guy. You know, he's been through it. He's been through hell before. So I just feel like this is going to be another fight where he comes to earn it, man.
Yeah, and I mean, and think about it. I mean, the same goes for Adrien Broner pretty much. I mean, we seen him get beat up before, but he ain't been knocked out. He ain't really been stopped. So, I mean, we talking about two guys with speed, power. You know what I mean? Both of them got chins. You know, so it's gonna be interesting. That, like I say, I mean, stylistically, it works for me.
Yeah, you know, that was a good point too, man. Like AB, he's never been beaten and like walked up out of there swole or put on his ass. He's kind of been what you call embarrassed,
right?
You know, because he, like I said, he likes to detach his mental gets detached from his skill sometimes, but he's never been like embarrassed, like beat down, but
knocked out, stopped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's another thing I think is why it makes it interesting for me, because every time I see him in there, I still think of him as like durable.
Right.
You know, because there's a lot of guys that couldn't, you know, withstand that ass whooping that Maidana was putting on him, you know?
No, a lot of guys would have folded. A lot of guys folded. And that's the thing, like we say, he been losing the fights, but he been in there going the distance, and, you know, and then almost every fight, the 12th round, he show you a glimpse of something. So it's like, I guess that 12th round make you anticipate seeing him fight another fight, and he like still in the fight. He rallied in the last round to make you remember that round and want to see him do it again. Whatever he's doing, I guess it's working for
him. Yeah. The thing we need though is, like you said, he needs a fight like that 12th round, at least 10 rounds of this fight. At least 9 of them.
You're gonna have to, because Manny gonna be on that ass, man.
Yeah, man.
I think.
Shoot, man. But I know we're gonna talk about this more as they get closer, like break it down. But last question I got is this your last chance for him, for AB?
To be honest, and I gave up on him a while back as far as, you know, really taking the game serious. You know, I mean, I'm still watch Saturday night because I think he's in there with an opponent that's want to make him do something or get knocked out. But I just wasn't seeing the dedication that I like to see to really get behind a guy. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of frustrating when you got the goods, but you won't sit down and focus and do what you got to do to, you know, go to the next level. So, you know, if he pulls off the upset, I guess he'll win it another 2-3 fights. You know what I mean? I don't even know if it's an upset, but I'm saying if he winds up, you know, beating Manny, I guess he'll earn himself another, you know, few fights. I mean, he gets fights when he loses a fight. So I don't know, man. How you feel? This your last.
You know, I gave him many chances, man. Like, you know, even the last time we did an episode, like almost last year, you said you counted him out. I was like, I'm gonna give him one more chance, and that's when he came up with that draw with Jesse Vargas. So it is my last chance for him, because I mean, it's like you said, like as guys who are hardcore fans of the sport and know all of these different equations you got to have to try and be a complete fighter, you know, he still continues to do those certain things that you don't need to be doing as a fighter. So from the outside looking in, we get kind of pissed off that you ain't taking advantage of everything you've been given.
He not doing the first thing you supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Make weight.
You know, you gotta educate yourself, man. You know, so I'm not saying he can't do it and won't do it, but you know, I mean, I just like to ride behind guys that make me feel like, well, I know this guy trained hard. I know he be taking the fight seriously. I know he a clean fighter. You know what I'm saying? He got heart. I
Yeah.
like to rock with those guys, you know.
Guys that got like a goal for the sport, but it's like, say if you even want to fight for money, like with AJ, say if he just became a money fighter, dropped those belts, and became a prize fighter, we couldn't really get mad at what he's doing, you know. But sometimes, like I'm saying, when you see somebody like AB, you know, you acting a fool out of the ring, and then you know doing little crazy things in the ring, we get kind of mad at that because we like, this is your chance to shine, but you throw it away.
Right. Right.
That's why I say, yeah, for me, it is a last chance. Cause man, like every time you put him in there, it's like he blows it off. He loses and he blows it off, and he's thinking in his mind that, oh, they'll give me another shot, but one day that shot ain't gonna come no more.
Absolutely. People won't get tired of that crap.
And as far as Manny, this being his last go round, I think this as a whole, like this whole Al Heyman signing, this is kind of his last thing, his last move before he retired. Man, what you think?
I think
I mean, it'd be like a couple more fights in there, but you know what I mean? Like,
I read something today. I think he said like 3 more fights. And like the thing about Manny too, dude, we never really seen a dull performance from Manny. You know, every time he brings it, it tries to bring it even. You know, with the Clotty fight where Clotty had the high guard all fight long and didn't do anything. And yeah, you know, Manny still tried to make as much of a fight out of it as he could. So like I say, in that essence, Manny's going to go out there and put on a good performance. You know, I heard the number 3 more fights, something like that. I mean, that's what I heard them playing around with. So, I mean, I think that's a good game plan. You know, he proven that he still got it. You know what I mean? And
so is he planning 3 more after this, or counting this one?
I wasn't sure because I don't know how official that is. I just seen a couple saying that he was planning on fighting 3 more times. So, you know, I guess
because you know, off topic is Keith Thurman. He was trying to say he deserves a Manny fight. I'm like, man, get out of here, man. It's like trying to put himself in that position that fight might happen before a Spence fight, you know, and that's where it kind of pissed me off again. So like you said, the Spence fight is something you ain't gonna be gunning for until 2020.
That's you know, you could have fought Manny if you wanted to.
Yeah,
could have happened already, but that ain't. Now you won it because he fighting AB. You know, because I know he looking at it like, damn, AB, damn, shit. Because you know how bad he wanted Floyd. So, I mean, Manny is like one of the next best things
that AB could get.
Floyd.
Yeah. So now, and he knows that much. He knows that fight is bigger than any fight he's ever had.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's the game, though, Ant. You know, you gotta play to win. You know what I'm saying?
It's chess, man. Like I said, even, you know, not just in the ring, but out of the ring, man. The business moves, bro.
Out of the ring too.
But yeah, man, I think that's all I got as far as, you know, just pre-talking this thing up, man. I mean, it's definitely the fight I've been looking forward to. The fight I am looking forward to next year so far, you know.
Yeah. And, you know, like we said, it's still early. We speaking on it now. You know, see how things go with the training and what transitions from this point on, and you know, things could change. But from as far as the way it looks from this point to me is it's the same old AB. You know what I mean? Same old AB. So, like I said, we'll see as the fight gets closer and see if he is really taking this thing seriously and trying to, you know, make his dream fight.
Yeah.
Turn out the way he wants it to turn out. I know he didn't lose in his dream fight. You know what I mean? I know that's not the way he visioned his dream fight. So
I mean, who knows with him, man? Because the way he is, he's just he's unpredictable, man.
Don't say that. Yo, I had a dream. Manny Pacquiao knocked me out, yo. Don't say that, man.
They had to walk me out of the ring the same way my daughter asked.
Don't say that, man.
It's all good though, man. I mean, like I said, like respect anybody that can just, like we be in these situations he be in and just come right back, man. So
Yeah,
eh, some people they would crawl into a hole and just hide from the world if they face some of the things he do. You know what I mean? So
that's true. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's he has that it factor that makes you at least want to watch, see what's going to happen. I'm not saying you're a fan. I'm not saying you like him, but if you see him, he makes you want to watch him. So I mean, I guess that's worth something too. But you gotta win. You gotta win, man. You gotta win, AB.
you got to now. You got to. You've been had to, but I mean, it's like winning and getting the big paydays don't go hand in hand because they keep giving it to him now. Even win, lose or draw, he's still getting them. That's why he's kind of like just saying, "Oh, I don't care. They're gonna give me another one anyway." But not after this one. I think like we said, Pacquiao, he ain't the one to hold back on you. So we seen that with Shane Mosley and all of these guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Manny, you let Manny up the chain and he ready to fight. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm still tripping off that Shane Mosley. Damn.
I hope not.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that fight, man. But I ain't got much going on this Thanksgiving. Just chilling with the fam. They got one fight coming up. Dimitri Bivol and John Pascal this Saturday. I'll probably check it out.
Yeah. I see Pascal still trying to mix it up, but I don't know if he want to mix it up with Bivol.
Bivol, whatever. He not wanting to play, man, because he stopped selling Barrera.
Yeah.
So I mean Pascal, he been knocked out by Kovalev, so twice. So
Pascal, his train is coming to this last couple stops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bivol,
that's kind of like a difference that's a comparison right there. Like somebody like him versus a Manny. Like I don't feel that danger factor with Manny, but with the Pascal, I kind of feel that danger with him, and that he might hurt himself.
Possibly, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. But go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. Like always, just subscribe to us on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. And again, shout out to followers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Got like over 3,400 followers on Facebook. So shout out to all of them. So everything just coming together, man. Everything growing, So it's something to definitely look forward to, man. But anything we'll say before we wrap this up?
No, man. Just pretty much reiterate what you were saying. Shout out to everybody, all the people that have been showing us some love and rocking with us from day one. Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And one thing and I want to say real quick is just a little weird that like on Thanksgiving, people on a regular basis waste so much food, and even in my own household we waste so much food overcooking and people don't eat stuff, but then it's still people on Thanksgiving that don't have nothing to eat, and that's just like the craziest thing. You hear about all these turkey giveaways. I donated, we went to the shelter, but there's still people places with nothing to eat on Thanksgiving. Even though you're supposed to have something to eat every day, but even on this day, it's people that don't have nothing, and that's just like unbelievable in America or whatever. But just everybody have a happy holiday, and try to think about some people that's a little less fortunate than y'all.
Yeah, definitely, man. I agree with that. That's why, like me, I'm not one to eat a lot. I just eat what I can take, and I try to buy what I can take, and try to ration out the food, because I feel like there is, like you said, there's a lot of people out there that need food. So I try not to. I just try to eat my part, and not be greedy.
Yeah, not be greedy. That's all we saying. Not be greedy, man. It's got people you full and you still eat. You got enough money and you still trying to get more, or don't want this person to get none. You got something, don't want him to get none. I mean, that's craziness, but man, that's what's wrong with the world right now, man. But anyway, everybody make sure they get a plate tomorrow and eat good and give thanks and
Be safe, man. Yeah. Yeah. So with that note, my name is Combo Breaker 99.
It's your boy Boxing P.
And we about to sign out. Y'all be safe.
Later.